Hello, this is Mario speaking. Today I'm going to create a video where I'm going to interact with an artificial intelligence. This is a video that I have to make for my task number 2 at the university where I study. So I really hope that you enjoy this video. So let's go now to the part where I'm going to attach a document. I'm going to interact with the artificial intelligence. So I have it here. So I'm going to ask her to um, to make me the questions. So here is. So imagine you want to know more about the city where I live. Can you ask me the following questions one by one, please? Hello.
Hey there. All right, I'll go ahead and ask you the questions one by one. Whenever you're ready, just let me know your thoughts on the first one.
I'm ready.
Awesome. So let's kick it off then. How many museums are there in your city where you can see cultural exhibitions?
In the city where I live in Monteria, honestly, there aren't too much museums. By the way, there is just one museum that is the Museo Senú Arte Contemporáneo. But in that, you can see like some pictures, Senú cultures, and some stories about Monteria.
Got it. That sounds really interesting. All right, let's move on to the next question. What kind of cultural activities are popular among young people in Monteria?
Cultural activities sometimes it is organized the youth week where they make some festival with music, for example, like rock, reggaeton, yes, all that kind of music, and that's for it's called the youth week. So and it is very interesting.
That sounds like a lot of fun. All right, let's keep going. Next up, what are some of the typical dishes that are most consumed during local festivals in Monteria?
Most local dishes, is in the Easter is very popular the festival del dulce where you can eat, buy and see some typical candies like the mongo mongo is the most popular and is the most consumed. Also, there are many too much kind of candies, typical candies that are very delicious, and some juice like la chicha and other like enyucado, many popular typical candies in that festival.
That sounds absolutely delicious. All right, let's move on to the next question. How many folklore legends are told about the history of Monteria?
I think that the most popular culture or folklore legend is just one. Is Pablito Flores was a very popular composer from Monteria that he has very popular songs. So for me, from my personal opinion, he's the most popular composer.
Great. That's a fascinating piece of local heritage. Now let's go ahead to the next question. What types of music are most heard at cultural events held in Monteria?
But the most popular music, or there are some kind of music that are listened. For example, one of the most popular is vallenato. A few people listen to salsa. A lot of people, I think, Monteria likes champeta, including me. I like the champeta. And also, you can find a music festival. I told you, I think that the reggaeton also, yes, is taking like some people is like is earning some people that likes that kind of music.
Awesome. It's great to hear about that musical variety. All right, let's continue with the next question. Is there any cultural fair in Monteria that offers a variety of local foods?
Sure, absolutely. For example, in Feria Ganadera, well, it's a festival, also a fair where there is a party. You can see like some shows of different culture of music, as I told you before, and also there is a food fair where you can find uh, grill, soups, many variety fast food. So there is for all the like. So there is a lot of kind of food variety.
Perfect. That sounds like a fantastic event. All right, let's keep going. How many folklore traditions are celebrated each year in Monteria?
So the before, well, there is folklore traditions. The first one and the most important in Monteria is Feria Ganadera, also Fiesta del Río, as are the most important. So those are the two important fairs in the city, and also there are some fairs in like close town, for example, Festival del Porro, Festival de Bullerengue, Festival de Burro in a close towns to Monteria.
That's really awesome to know. All right, let's go on to the next question. Could you tell me which local music artists are the most recognized in the Monterey region?
Sure. Currently, I think that the most popular artists recognized are, I think, around the region and the world. I think that a lot of people know him is Manuel Turizo. That is, he's a reggaeton singer. Also, there is another singer that I think that few people know him, but is Camilo. Also, another popular singers are Adriana Lucia, Martina La Peligrosa. I think these are the most popular from Monteria, and I think that a lot of people know them.
Fantastic. It's great to have that musical lineup. All right, let's move on to the next question. Is there any typical dish that is considered a favorite among tourists visiting Monteria?
Absolutely, the most popular dish. Well, it's a typical dish that I think that everybody in Monteria likes, and also the tourists. I think that all the tourists that visit Monteria like this typical dish that it is called the mote de queso. That is a soup made with cheese. So local people and tourists, I think that a lot of they like this dish. I think that this doesn't have any fight.
Perfect. That definitely sounds like a must try. All right, let's go on to the next question. How accessible are the cultural attractions in Monteria for people with disabilities?
Well, I think that no accessible. There aren't too much accessible attractions for disabled people. But I think that you want to ask me. Uh, there are a few yes accessible areas for this kind of attraction. So yes, I think that the city is missing that. There are few accessible areas.
Got it. Thanks for sharing that insight. All right, let's keep going. Next up, how many parks are there in Monteria where people can enjoy outdoor activities?
Well, in this, let me tell you that I cannot count how many parks are there in Monteria. I don't know. I lost the count, but I know that there is a couple of parks that I cannot like tell you how many. Like if there are 10 or 100, I don't know. But yes, there are a couple of parks where children they can go and play in the playground, and also adults they can do exercise with some machines that there are in the parks. So it's very funny. Even me, I go to the parks to do exercises.
That definitely sounds like Monteria has a nice number of parks for outdoor fun. All right, let's move on to the next question. How high is the crime rate in the tourist areas of Monteria?
Well, I think yeah, the crime rate is very low. I think that because I haven't heard that someone who visited I was stolen or something. No, so I think the crime is low. So there are a few like robbers or burglar. There are a few. I think that that's an advantage for small cities.
That's good to hear. It's definitely reassuring for visitors. All right, let's keep going. How frequent are crime incidents in residential areas of Monteria?
Also, I think like in the previous question is low. There are few like crime like a robber go to your house, he stole this or something. Yes, I think that in that case is a good point for Monteria that the crime rate is low. So there are few like few burglars or robbers that go to your house to steal at night or something. So yes, the crime is very low.
That's definitely reassuring for anyone living or visiting. All right, let's move on to our next question. How does rush hour traffic affect attendance at downtown concerts in Monteria?
Yes, the rush hour in Monteria, yes, is a chaos. So, for example, at 6 a.m., the rush hour is horrible. So, yes, the traffic jam. There is a lot of traffic jam on the downtown. Or for example, at 6 p.m. also, the rush hour is very horrible. There are too much cars, too much motorcycles. So, and when in my case I have to cross the bridge every day, so sometimes the bridge is moving. So yes, it's very horrible the traffic when in the rush hours and when you go to your job.
Got it. That definitely makes sense. All right, let's wrap up with the final question. What are the peak congestion hours on the main streets of Monteria?
Yes, the main congestion is in the downtown. Oh yeah, as I told you before, there are a lot of cars and too many motorcycles because in Monteria there are a lot of motorcycles. So the downtown you know is a big. Also, when in the two bridges that cross the Sinu River, so also the traffic jam is horrible at rush hours, and also in the north of the city where there are many companies. So when people are like finishing shift, also the rush hour is very horrible because there aren't enough like highways to to we can drive like a smooth drive to have a smooth drive when I go out from my job or some other people. So I think that we need more ways in Monteria.
Perfect. Thanks so much for sharing all these details. If you have any more questions or want to dive deeper into anything, just let me know.
Absolutely. So I think that's it. Thank you so much for asking me these questions. Have a good day.
You're very welcome. I'm glad we could chat. Have a wonderful day and feel free to reach out anytime. Take care.
Take care too. Bye.
Bye. Take care and have a great one.
Okay, so that's it. This was all the video. So I really hope that you have enjoyed this interaction with the artificial intelligence. So have a good day.